Welcome to the Off the Pitch podcast.
Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to the Off the Pitch. I'm Hannah Morales, and joining me today, as always, is our brilliant football analyst, Gaffers Jazzlesees. Gaffer, it's been a whirlwind summer, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Hannah. The transfer window is like a high-stakes chess game, and this summer, the board is absolutely buzzing. From Manchester United's blockbuster bid for Benjamin Sesko to Newcastle's relentless pursuit of the same player, and don't get me started on Liverpool's audacious moves. It's chaos out there, and I love it.
Chaos is the right word, Gaffer. Let's dive straight into the biggest story of the week, Benjamin Sesko. Both Manchester United and Newcastle have thrown their hats in the ring with massive bids. United at 85 million euros, Newcastle slightly higher with add-ons. What's your take on this transfer tug-of-war?
Oh, it's a proper scrap, Hannah. Let's break it down. Manchester United's offer is 75 million euros guaranteed plus 10 million in add-ons, while Newcastle's gone in with 80 million euros plus up to 10 million in bonuses. On paper, Newcastle's bid edges it, but the devil's in the details. How achievable are those add-ons? United's can't believe Sesko fancies Old Trafford, but Newcastle's not backing down. The key here is that RB Leipzig are evaluating both offers, and Sesko himself holds the trump card. He's 22, a Slovenia international, and his decision will likely hinge on the project, the manager, and, let's be honest, the wages.
Absolutely. It's not just about the money on the table for Leipzig, is it? Sesko's got to think about where he'll thrive. Let's talk about fit. How does he slot into these squads?
Great point, Hannah. For Manchester United under Ruben Amorim, Sesko would be a statement signing. United have spent big this summer, over £130 million on Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, but they're still light up top. Rasmus Højlund has been their main man, but he's young and injuries have exposed their lack of depth. Sesko is a classic number 9, tall, physical, good in the air, but he's also got that modern striker's mobility. He'd fit Amorim's high-pressing 3-4-3 system like a glove, potentially playing as the focal point with Mbeumo and Cunha drifting wide. But here's the catch. United's midfield is still a work in progress. Kobbie Mainoo's a gem, but they need more dynamism to feed a striker like Sesko.
And Newcastle, they're in a different boat, aren't they? With Alexander Isak's situation muddying the waters?
Exactly, Hannah. Newcastle's pursuit of Sesko isn't about replacing Isak outright. They've been clear about that. But Isak's desire to leave, reportedly for Liverpool, has forced their hand. Their £110 million rejection of Liverpool's bid shows they value Isak at £150 million. But his behavior, training alone at Real Sociedad, missing their Asia tour, suggests he's halfway out the door. Sesko would give Eddie Howe a new spearhead, someone who can lead the line in a 4-3-3 or even a 4-2-3-1 with his ability to hold up play and link with wingers like Anthony Elanga. But Newcastle's Champions League campaign adds pressure. They need Sesko to hit the ground running, and that's a big ask for a 22-year-old in a new league.
Fascinating. So financially, both clubs are splashing the cash, but what about the broader implications? How do these bids reflect their strategies? Let's zoom out. Manchester United's spending this summer, $130 million already, potentially $200 million if Sesko joins, shows they're all in on rebuilding under Amorim. Omar Barada, their CEO, said they're working around the clock to bolster the squad. This is about signaling intent. United want to close the gap to the top 4, and Sesko is a long-term investment who could be their Haaland-esque figure for the next decade. But it's risky. They've missed out on other targets like Victor Gyökeres and Liam Delap, and another bidding war could stretch their budget, especially with FFP looming. And Newcastle's strategy. They seem to be in a bit of a pickle with Isak. Newcastle's in a tricky spot, Hannah. Their recruitment, led by Jamie Rubin and Andy Howe, is aggressive but reactive. They've signed Elanga and Aaron Ramsdale, but missing out on Ekitike, Delap, and others shows they're struggling to land their top targets. Sesko's a bold move, but it's a hedge against losing Isak. Financially, they're in better shape than United. A £150 million valuation for Isak gives them wiggle room, but their lack of a sporting director is a red flag. It's a patchwork approach, and without Isak, they're banking on Sesko and maybe Jan Wissa to carry their attack. Long-term, they're building for the Champions League, but short-term, it's a gamble on cohesion. Fascinating. Let's talk about the managers. Amorim is making waves at United with his no-nonsense approach. That tracking technology he's using, Stat Sports' Apex 2.0, sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's game-changing, Hannah. Amorim's using real-time data to monitor everything. Distance covered, sprints, dynamic stress loads. He's got 5 million data points per match. It's not just about catching slackers. It's about injury prevention. United had 45 injuries last season, losing 1,620 days. Apex 2.0's predictive analytics can flag when players like Højlund or Mainu are at risk, letting Amorim adjust workloads on the fly. Compare that to Newcastle, where Howe is dealing with Isak's minor thigh problem and a lack of clarity. Amorim's got the edge in structure and innovation here. And the fans, how are they reacting to all of this? United fans are buzzing but cautious. They love Amorim's intensity, calling out players like he did after the Everton draw, backing Fernandez's lazy comments, but there's skepticism about another big spend after mixed results with signings like Mbeumo. Newcastle fans, though, are frustrated. Isak's antics have split the fan base. Some want him sold, others see him as their talisman. Social media is ablaze with debates about Sesko's potential, but there's a sense of déjà vu after losing out on other targets. Both sets of fans want results, not just promises. Let's pivot to another club caught in the transfer storm, Brentford. They've lost Thomas Frank, Brian Mbeumo, and others. How's that reshaping their season? Brentford's in uncharted territory, Hannah. Losing Frank, their talisman manager, to Tottenham is a body blow. He was the architect of their rise, and now Keith Andrews, a rookie, steps in. Add the departures of Brian Mbeumo to United, Christian Norgard, Ben Mee, and Mark Flecken, and it's a rebuild on steroids. Jordan Henderson and Keween Kelleher bring experience, but Brentford's identity, high pressing, set-piece dominance, could falter. Andrews will lean on players like Michael Coyote and Fabio Carvalho, but the Guardian's writers predict an 18th place finish. That's grim for a club that's punched above its weight. Financially, Brentford's got new investment, though. That $100 million minority stake from Gary Lubner and Matthew Vaughan, does it change the picture? It's a lifeline, but not a game-changer yet. Matthew Benham's still calling the shots, and Phil Giles' data-driven approach remains. The £400 million valuation shows Brentford's stability, but losing key players and Frank's staff, coaches, the last one is missing, disrupts their process. They're banking on Andrews to adapt their high-pressing, set-piece heavy style, but without Mbeumo's goals or Norgard's leadership, it's a tall order. They're not doomed, but it's a season of survival, not ambition. Let's compare across leagues. Arsenal signed Victor Gyökeres, Liverpool nabbed Florian Wirtz for $100 million. How do these moves stack up against United and Newcastle's Sesko chase? It's a tale of different priorities, Hannah. Arsenal's Gyökeres signing, after that 5-1 thrashing of his Sporting side last season, shows they wanted a proven goal scorer. He's a number 9 with pace and physicality, perfect for Arteta's 3-3-3 fluid system. Liverpool's Wirtz at £100 million is a statement of intent. He's a creative hub, ideal for Slot's possession-based system, replacing the void left by Luis Diaz's £65.5 million exit to Bayern. Both moves are about immediate impact and long-term fit, unlike United and Newcastle Sesko bids, which feel more reactive, United filling a gap, Newcastle hedging against Isak's exit. Serie A's Napoli, chasing Premier League castoffs like Kevin De Bruyne, shows a different approach, recycling proven talent rather than banking on youth. And what about the broader Premier League landscape? The Big Six are hoovering up domestic talent, Mbeumo, Wirtz, Gyökeres. Why is this happening? It's a mix of Brexit, FFP, and ambition, Hannah. Post-Brexit rules make it harder to sign young European talents, so clubs are raiding each other. Mbeumo's move from Brentford to United, Wirtz's move from Leverkusen to Liverpool, these are proven players who don't need work permits. FFP squeezing budgets, so clubs are targeting high-value, low-risk signings. The Big Six also know domestic transfers send a message, we're here to dominate. But it's not all rosy. Look at Chelsea's 50 signings in 3 years under Bowley. It's scattergun, and their £65 million transfer boost from selling players like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall shows they're still balancing the books. Speaking of Chelsea, they're shipping out players left and right. How's that affecting their strategy? Chelsea's in a reset mode, Hannah, banishing 9 players, including Raheem Sterling, from their website signals a clear-out. They're raising funds, £50 million from double exits, to reinvest in young talents like Jarell Hato. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Build a squad for 2030, not 2025. But it's chaotic, fans are frustrated, and there's no guarantee their new signings gel. Compare that to Liverpool, who've raised £146 million from sales like Diaz to fund Isak or Rodrigo pursuits. It's more surgical, less frantic.
Let's wrap up with a look at Amorim's Manchester United. His leadership group, Fernandes, Maguire, Martinez, Dalot, Mazraoui, Heaton, sets a tone. How's that shaping the squad?
Amorim's building a culture of accountability, Hannah. Fernandes calling out lazy play after the Everton draw, backed by Amorim, shows he's empowering his leaders to police the squad. The Apex 2.0 tech is his secret weapon. Real-time data on every player's output means no one can hide. It's a stark contrast to Erik ten Hag's era where injuries and inconsistency plagued United. Amorim's cautious approach last season after 45 injuries shows he's learned. If Sesko joins, he'll slot into a system where effort is non-negotiable, but United's success hinges on midfield reinforcements and avoiding another bidding war.
Gaffer, you've painted a vivid picture of this transfer window. Any final thoughts on where Sesko ends up?
It's Sesko's call, Hannah. United's project under Amorim feels more structured, with a clear tactical identity. Newcastle's Champions League poll is tempting, but Isaac's drama and their recruitment woes make it less stable. I'd lean toward United, but Sesko's decision, expected this week, will tell us a lot about his priorities. Either way, the Premier League's about to get a new star.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's all for today's Off the Pitch. Join us next week as we unpack more transfer drama and tactical battles. Gaffer, thanks for the insight.
Always a pleasure, Hannah. Let's see where Sesko lands.
Thanks for listening and subscribe for my channel.